Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. Before we get started, let's review our risk disclosure. Just gonna kind of review that quickly with you guys. Just want to remind everyone the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be used as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand that the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company's partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risks. Not for every investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that they can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, Antha Will. Good morning, Dirk. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's now that we've gotten through the risk disclosure, guys, we'll go ahead and turn our attention to the news and see what news we have in store for us today that has the potential of impacting the markets here. So let's go ahead and do that. Move to the news portal here. All right, there it is. We're just going to pause here for a moment to make sure it's visible to folks. About maybe 10-15 seconds. Usually that's what it takes. If I can get a confirmation that you indeed are able to see this, then I will maybe one in chat. If you are able to see this, I will move on. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so what do we have today? Well, we have a couple of Fed members that are going to speak. Fed member Daly, Fed member Musalem. We have a bilateral meeting with Syrian president scheduled for 11 a.m. today. We have a 3-year note yield reporting at 1 p.m. And then we have Trump swearing in Indian ambassador at 3 p.m. today, and then BOJ summary of opinions pretty close to the close of the market here. That's actually marked in red, so indicating that there is a fair amount of impact that particular news event could have up in the markets. Taking a look ahead, we do have our standard let's see, EIA. We're just kind of looking ahead. We have November 14th seems to be the day. You see these red lightning bolts. We have PPI, core PPI, retail sales month over month. So that obviously has an impact. It could have an impact on the markets, but that's a few days away. So I would say relatively, we have jobless claims also year over year, CPI on the 13th on the Thursday. So some news later in the week that could potentially impact the markets here. All right, now that we've gotten through the news here, we'll go ahead and turn our attention to the markets. Okay, let's see if I can go ahead. There it is. Let's open this up, and this, and then this, and we'll turn our attention there. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have in front of you, we're going to go ahead and turn our attention to something else here, but let's remove our drawings. Let's modify this to the gold market. We'll start off with the gold as we normally do. Okay. And we just remove some of our drawings here. Okay. So here we are. Okay, let's see. Looks like we've gotten involved in some sort of rally in gold. Okay, I don't know if this is news generated, but we had a little double bottom pattern that we had developed, and today we had kind of closed right at this double bottom, right? We developed a double bottom on the daily we talked about, right? And kind of a supportive area, right? So, right, you can see that W pattern, double bottom, however you want to phrase it. And now we've begun to break some structure here to the upside. Okay, so the question now becomes, assuming that this stays as bullish as it appears currently, where can price go? Well, we have this level here at around 4150 on the daily level that could potentially be resistant. And then obviously we have this we got above that 4040 level that we had been talking about for such a long period of time. And then we have 4400 above us. Okay, so a couple of levels on the daily chart that maybe we need to keep an eye on. This 4040 level we were kind of tracking. Well, that technically not technically closed or above on the daily just yet, because the daily is still well underway, but it broke a important level that we had been tracking since the market was kind of ranging here a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look at the 4-hour to kind of focus in on the these daily candles, zooming in on these daily candles. So right around I guess the start of the session on yesterday, we got a break, right? We got a break. We got to close above this 4040 level that we had been tracking. Okay, and since then, looks like the market has been in a sustained auction to the upside. We have 4-hour candle after 4-hour candle after 4-hour candle, all to the bullish side. Now we are coming into an area, right, where we could expect. We kind of marked this level here around 4150, and we're going to adjust this a little bit. 4150 that has the potential of being somewhat resistant to price. Why do we say 4150? Well, we just look to the left, right? We look to the left, and we can see that price left this level, right? Left this level, and then came back, retested it, and we had a nice leg to the downside. Okay, so right now, while we are in some sort of bullish pattern to the upside, we have to also acknowledge that is probably going to be some challenges in its way to continue to the upside. And the very first challenge again is this 4150 level. Let's go ahead and move into the 30-minute chart. We'll take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Again, you can see that we are creating a pattern of higher highs and higher lows. I'm going to go ahead and open up my visible range volume profile. You can see that we are in the kind of the low end of the volume on the visible range volume profile, indicating that we are not spending a whole lot of time at any one of these prices outside of this area here around 4090, and we've been trending to the upside. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We'll take a look and see where price is in relation to Friday's price action. But I would suspect that you guys probably can conclude what I'm about to say here, and that we are above value, okay, and we are participants are willing to pay somewhat of a premium from Friday to be part of this market, right? And right, so I'm going to go ahead and extend this line. I don't know. I don't expect this necessarily to come and revisit this level today, right? Since there's a fair amount of momentum here to the upside, okay, but it is a level nonetheless, okay. So we have this level around 4016 that I would expect to be somewhat supportive in the future, okay. I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can locate my volume delta here just to get a sense for the strength behind some of these moves, or whether there's volume supporting these moves, is more importantly, is kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay, so you can see that we have some volume. I'm going to move this up here as well. Let's see if I can. ATR. Okay, so we had some volume to support the move. Now we're not getting the same amount of volume that we were getting. So there's a little bit of loss of momentum, I guess. Although price is making new highs, maybe a little bit of a divergence that's going on here with respect to securing additional participants in the current direction, which is bullish. Okay, so if anything, it seems like maybe sellers are starting to pick up, and buyers are starting to say, I'm not so sure that 4105 is necessarily the best price I can get here. So I might want to wait for the market maybe to come back down to 4090 before I maybe dip my toe in the water on the buy side. Okay. We'll take a look here at the initial balance range and see what the initial balance range offered across the various sessions. I suspect that the initial balance range was somewhat supportive across here. So let me see if I can actually locate that. Remove this here. And there it is. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Asia session. Okay. And take a look at what Asia's doing, what Asia did, right? Well, we got a nice, very early, we got a nice move to the upside in Asia, right? Offered us a little bit of a pullback. Once it reached the, looks like it reached the 200% extension and continued. Normally we get some sort of reversal in price, maybe a retest of the initial balance high, but that was not necessarily in the cards today, right? Instead, we got a strong push to the 200% extension of the initial balance range, got a little bit of a pullback back to maybe the 100%, and then we've been bullish ever since. Okay, moving down to the moving down to the London. All right, taking a look at London and see what London was able to offer here. So London also offered us a nice 200% extension in this market. Okay, so again, a lot of buyers currently in this market. Now the question now becomes for us is, since we are relatively bullish on this market, what would be some locations maybe to participate, right? Well, we've already identified a level earlier. This 4,095, 4,090, okay, would be a relatively good level because that's a level of some support that we've had here in the past. So that would be a logical place to maybe look for an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and open up my 9 EMA as well as my VWAP, if I can locate it here. There's my VWAP. Okay, so those are a couple of other locations. The 9 EMA is coming in at pretty close to 4,100, 4,098. That's kind of where the 9 EMA is at. And then we have 4,072 is the level VWAP below here. Okay, so those are a couple of logical levels. Okay, logical levels to maybe participate in a long. I'm going to go ahead and open up initial balance here for the current day session and see where that puts us. And you can see that we are developing a rather narrow initial balance range. So if I'm a buyer, well, I'd like to participate again at this level, right, which is right around the 9 EMA or down below. These are a couple of areas. If not, if they don't give me that, well, then I need to see a significant push here, and then maybe a retracement back to initial balance high. Right now, the high is at 4,112. Otherwise, if I'm looking for maybe a kind of a scalping opportunity, well, maybe a scalping opportunity is developing as we speak. Now, I don't know if there's certainly not enough room here from current price down to 9 EMA. I don't think that's enough necessarily for a trade. But if it does manage to get below the 9 EMA, a trade down to VWAP would not be out of the realm of possibilities here. Okay, so headed into the session, headed into the market, I would have to say that the market appears to be somewhat bullish. We are breaking daily and 4-hour levels to the upside, indicating that there is a fair amount of momentum in the current bullish direction. So as a trader, as a risk manager, I'm going to be waiting for better price location to support a long. If I'm more of a scalper, or you're looking for maybe a smaller trade, then maybe I can entertain a counter trend trade, but the counter trend trade has to be, I have to be quite nimble with that and look for maybe an opportunity that would take me back to maybe VWAP as possible. And then maybe once I reach VWAP, that might be another, a location for a continuation move. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you. I'm going to maybe mark one other level here. I think any attempt to the downside, probably we should be looking maybe as kind of a failed auction possibilities. So the 100% extension, maybe the 200% extension could offer us maybe a location, maybe to see price reverse and continue higher. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay, looking at the crude oil market and see what the crude oil market has to say. We're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings here, and we're going to start off with the daily chart and see what the daily chart is telling us. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but we're back. We're back at this 60 level. I think the 60 level has been something that we've been discussing in this market for some time. Okay, so again, we just keep churning around the 60 level. Okay, churning around the 60 level. Again, if I were to draw this, is kind of where we are inside some sort of bearish channel. We did make a nice bounce away from 56, but haven't been able to get above 62.50. Okay, so right now we are in this bearish channel. We were kind of, I think, to some degree have filled the gap that was created here. But now we are in some sort of bearish channel in a market that also looks a bit bearish, right? Again, our trend line, if I were to draw one, is longer term, is a little bit still sloping to the downside. Okay, so trend seems to be lower. So again, I have to look to see maybe if for opportunities to the downside. Okay, so daily chart really not telling me all that much. It seems like there's kind of even participation in this market on both sides. We are in the bearish channel, so probably a little bit of an edge to the bearish side is in order. We'll take a look at the 4-hour chart. We'll turn off our initial balance range here a little bit and see what that has to say here. So looking at this, we can see that we remain in this bearish channel, kind of like exactly what we were saying on the daily chart, just with more candles. If I were to look at this of late, obviously it seems like we are in the bullish swing of those candles here, but nonetheless, we still haven't broken any significant structure to the upside. Okay, unless we can get above, I would say 60.83, then I have to continue to look to the bearish side in this market. Good morning, Michael. All right, taking a look at the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're going to go ahead and remove the channels here for a second here and take a closer look at these 30-minute candles that are developing on the crude oil. Okay, so the moment we start to think that maybe the market is headed higher, sellers step in and drive the market lower. Okay. Hey, vámonos. All right. So again, open up the visible range volume profile. That's already opened. Open up the fixed range volume profile and see based on Friday, where is price. Drag this across, okay, to the close. You can see that we came back to an area of value. Okay, and what did price do? Well, it reacted away from it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this as an area of importance here, right? So if I extend this line over to the right, look at how nicely price respected an area of importance. In this case, value area high from Friday. We came back storming down during London. And looks like we've, at least for now, have maybe found some buyers. Okay. We see that price has managed to get above the 9 EMA, but the 9 EMA is right at the moment kind of sloping, is flat, similar to the VWAP. So maybe that's an indication that maybe we are moving into some sort of range. 60 mean to the low side, 60.50 being to the top side. Tradable, but not necessarily the widest range to trade. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the initial balance and see what the initial balance has to offer here. So we'll open up Asia session and see what the Asia session offered as far as initial balance. See if what kind of direction we got in this market. Well, we initially got some bullish, right? So we got a nice push to the upside, a pullback to a known indicator, VWAP, and we went from the 50% extension all the way to the 150% extension of the original range. Okay, now we got closer to London, and London really wasn't, I guess, embracing the fact that maybe we should continue higher in this market. They came in thinking that maybe it's a little overpriced and that we should probably think about maybe moving price lower. Okay, so that's exactly what they did. They got back to this value area high range, and maybe the beginnings of maybe a potential failed auction, initial balance rotation possibility. There's certainly a possibility of going from 60 all the way back up to 60.50. I'm going to go ahead and open up the settlement. So again, settlement again offered us another location for price to reverse. London filled the gap that was created by New York. Okay, that they managed to fill this gap, and now we responded away from settlement, and now kind of hovering around the 9 EMA. Now the question for me is, are we going to remain in range? Okay, and maybe remain in this kind of area here, or are we going to maybe use this as an opportunity, maybe to rally through this and maybe reach the initial balance high, rotate through to the initial balance high? So I'm going to have to say, given kind of the mix, we got buyers in Asia, sellers in London. It seems that the market is probably a bit mixed. Maybe a bit. We could expect that maybe the market will stay in some sort of range today. Okay, so range, I would say neutral. I'm just going to give it a neutral kind of grade here. Not really seeing anything in the way of any significant direction in this market at the moment. On the higher time frame, we remain in a bearish, kind of direction. But looking at maybe the series of 30-minute candles, it seems like we're just in range, right? From 60 all the way up to 60.50. We've just been bouncing between that range. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a neutral rating here, guys. Okay, I'm neutral on the crude oil market. I think we need to focus in on those areas that I just mentioned. 60 on the low end, 60.50 on the buy end, and see if the market offers us maybe an opportunity to trade for an execution. Okay. All right. Let's see. Before we move on to the equity markets here, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and put on my marketing hat here a little bit and encourage you guys, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button or hit the like button, or find that the information I'm giving you is indeed supporting you in your ability to navigate the markets. I would encourage you to hit the like, hit the subscribe, maybe leave a comment or two on how this analysis is supporting you. All necessary to kind of continue to provide this on a daily basis. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and move on to the NASDAQ here and see what the NASDAQ has been is up to. All right, so we're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings. And when I was doing my weekly analysis, it seemed that maybe the market was maybe looking to head higher. So let's take a look here at the daily and see. Okay, so we came down to a level. Of support here. Okay, right around the 25,000 level, and we are developing somewhat of a 3-bar reversal pattern. Right. So this 3-bar reversal pattern is kind of indicating to us that maybe there's a possibility that we head higher in this market. Okay, I'm just going to kind of draw that in here a little bit. Technically, we're still inside a bearish channel, but we've developed a little bit of, are developing, I should say, because this candle is still a candle under development. We are developing a little bit in the way of a 3-bar reversal here. Okay, but this candle is far from complete. Okay, so until that happens, we really can't anticipate or predict that it's going to necessarily close that way. So, but it's telling, I guess. Maybe we can confirm this on the 4-hour, but it is telling that we are reversing away from this 25,000 level. Okay, so let's take a look at the 4-hour chart and take a look and see we got our reversal pattern. Yeah, we did. We sure did. Okay, we got. Let's turn off our initial balance here. Excuse me. All right, so looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see that we got our 3-bar reversal pattern that I mentioned, right? 1, 2, 3, and then we reversed up. Now we are kind of trying to making our way up higher on this market. We had Friday into Sunday some bullish price action. Price is above our 9 EMA, price is above our VWAP, technically inside a bearish channel. So I think the more telling price is going to be can price get above 25,900. I think that's going to be a more telling indication on whether we are in some sort of kind of bullish environment or whether we are in some sort of range. Okay, so 25,000. I'm going to call it 900. Okay, I know it's technically 880 or something along those lines, but that area right there is going to be telling for me is, can the market make a new high? If it can market a new high, then maybe we are beginning in the beginnings of maybe more of a bullish structure here. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart. Again, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the channel, turn off my price channels here. And you can see, look how nicely price is embracing the 9 EMA. Okay, price is above the 9 EMA, hugging the 9 EMA, and it's continuing to the upside. We see it. We see that we have a sloping VWAP also in the upward direction. Okay, now am I necessarily a buyer at these levels? Probably not, but should price come back to the VWAP, or this is kind of this midnight zone, okay, this midnight level that we've talked about in group coaching, this might be another level where we can see maybe a potential reversal in price. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile and just I would say confirm what I believe I know. And that is, where is price in relation to Friday's value range? And price is above. Okay, price is above the value range that we established on Friday. Okay, indicating that there's a fair amount of bulls participating in this market. Okay, to the bullish side. All right, we're going to go ahead and open up initial balance and take a look and see what initial balance has to say. We're going to go ahead and start off with the Asia market and see what Asia has to offer here. And Asia right now is Asia, right, provided us a nice extension away from the initial balance range. We've reached the 200% extension, hovered around the 200% extension, and we found more participants, right? We found more participation up at these levels. Okay, taking a look at London. London seems to be more in range. I guess they haven't completely embraced the view that maybe we are interested in heading higher. If anything, it might be even developing a little bit of a topping pattern, right? We made an attempt to head higher, was rejected, came back, right? Right. So we have this, right, up and then back down and then up again. Okay, up, right, up again, and now I don't know. Does this mean that we might see a down? I don't know, right? Right now, as long as price remains above the 9 EMA, then I have to think along those kind of lines, right? Price is hovering up just above the initial balance high, but I can't say that it's garnering more participation or aggressive participation, I should say, from the buyers here. Okay, if anything, the longer that we stay up here without maybe extending this level could be an indication that we maybe rotate right back to VWAP. That seems to more natural. right after this kind of long move here to the upside. It would not surprise me in the least if price were to maybe stall and maybe fall here a little bit, maybe back down to VWAP, at which point maybe down by 25,460, maybe it offers me a location where I can maybe participate in this market to the upside. Okay. That would be kind of maybe a logical place for me to participate in the long trade. Okay. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking to see, what would be another logical area for resistance. And I see that we have this area above. I'm going to go ahead and draw a little rectangle around this area, right around 25,800. This is not a supportive area. I would mark this as more of a resistant area. Okay, so I need to know exactly where my participants could be hanging out here. Okay, so if we are going to continue in this move to the upside, I see 25,800 as kind of a natural area of some resistance. Okay, we have 25,000, maybe a shade above 25,700 as a kind of a 200% extension of the London initial balance range. We see that settlement is well below us. Okay, so we have all the ingredients, I would say, of maybe a little bit of a retracement in this market. Okay, I feel that we are extended above on the VWAP. Settlement is down below, so it would not surprise me in the least that maybe we spend some time maybe to the downside, given sort of what's been taking place in the overnight. But I'm not predicting. I'm reacting. So I'm going to let price tell me if we continue to make higher highs and higher lows, and we get breaks of initial balance and it's able to hold above initial balance, then I have to take what the market is giving me. But right now I feel like we are maybe a little tad extended. Okay. And it maybe a little bit overdue. Okay. With all this price action since the beginning of Sunday, maybe a little bit overdue in some sort of pullback. Okay. In this market, before we maybe have the potential of continuing higher here. Okay. So headed into the market, again, I have to acknowledge that the market is at least on the shorter time frame showing some signs of bullish kind of price action. So if I am looking to participate in this market, I need to find a level where I can manage my risk. And currently, this is not a level that I would necessarily want to participate to the long side. I'd like to see maybe if we can get a little bit of a pullback, and then at that point maybe participate in a long trade. Okay. All right. So headed into the market, I would say I'm bullish. Okay, but I'm going to be patient and disciplined and wait for a proper level maybe to participate in this market. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ES here. ES is kind of giving us the same kind of look and feel. We'll take a look at the daily. The daily, we opened up with a gap, okay, here, right? So there's a pent up, it looks like a pent up demand to get into this market, okay? So we created a little bit of a gap here. Obviously, this is still a developing. If this happens to close, then this obviously creates a kind of a three-bar reversal pattern with a gap, okay, indicating that there is some sort of strength here to the upside. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart, looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see the series of candles to the upside that we've been developing. We are above our 9 EMA. We are above our VWAP, coming into an area that has been resistance in the past. I would say around this 6860 level. Okay. Because that's going to be an area on the daily level that I'm going to kind of keep track of to see if it's able to get above that level. If it can, then the 6860 level could serve as a kind of springboard for price to continue to the upside, or this 6860 level will serve as some sort of area for resistance, and we maybe continue in some sort of range and potentially reverse from that area. Okay. That would be kind of a logical, another option that we could see. All right. Moving into the 30-minute chart, looking at the 30-minute chart, you can see that we are still well above VWAP, kind of giving us the same kind of look and feel that we were getting in the NASDAQ. Looks like we are losing maybe a little bit of a momentum to the upside, right? We're seeing a lot more in the way of overlapping candles. Has this look and feel that the market is maybe a little bit heavy, that the market is trying to carry some sort of heavy box or heavy gorilla higher, and it's struggling to do so at the moment. So that could be an indication that maybe, again, there's that ICT level that we were talking about, that midnight price level, that maybe we do see maybe a reversal, or reversal in price down to this level, down to VWAP, before we see any sort of continuation move here to the upside. Okay, if it breaks that level and breaks below VWAP, would not be out of the realm of possibility here if we do revisit settlement price at some point. Okay, in this market. Okay. Let's take a look and see what the initial balance ranges are for the various sessions. Well, actually, let's go ahead and start with the fixed range volume profile and see what where price is in relation to Friday price action. And let's see if I can locate that right about there. Drag that across to that point there, and you can see that we're well above value from Friday. Okay, similar to what we were saying with the NASDAQ. We're going to go ahead and open up the initial balance range and take a look and see what the initial balance ranges are saying for the various sessions. We opened up Tokyo here, or Asia, okay, and you can see that we had a very nice extension to the 200% extension. Okay, right, we got to the 100% with not much effort. Then we hung out at the 100% for a while. And then price remained above the 9 EMA and found some more buyers as we approached London. Okay. And now London, I don't know if it actually extended that range. I think it probably did the same. It's doing the same kinds of things that we are witnessing on the NASDAQ, but it's hovering right above the initial balance high. But it's not moving away from it with any sort of vigor, right? It's kind of barcoding here a little bit, maybe even giving us an indication that it might pull back some. Okay, so this line in the sand that I have here of 68.12, or initial balance high, is going to be an important area, right? So as long as we stay above the initial balance high, then maybe we can look for an opportunity to the upside. This is the London range now. This is not New York. This is London. Otherwise, what I'd like to see, and I think would probably be a little bit more aligned with what my mindset with what would want to see, is that I'd like to see price come back down to VWAP, maybe come back down to this area of not only of support, but this area, not only of this area here, which is supportive, but also this is the opening price at midnight, right, was 6,800. Nice round number that could offer us maybe a location for a reversal in price. Okay, so as I mentioned in the for NASDAQ, I think also applies here. I do see that the market, at least on the shorter time frame, is in some sort of bullish structure, maybe a little bit more in range of late. Again, if I'm a buyer of this market, then I think I need to wait for a better level, okay, to support. I'd like to see maybe the market pull back here a little bit, maybe back down to maybe the 68.05 or 68.10 level to offer me maybe a location for me to participate in this market. Otherwise, I'm at an area, right, where if it cannot make a new high, if it can't get above 68.20, 68.22, then maybe the market rotates back down and rotates all the way through initial balance down to the 6,800 level. So for now, I'm gonna call it bullish, but I would say maybe more neutral to bullish at the moment, and we'll have to see how this market opens up with the open of the New York session here. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the Dow. All right, and maybe make one final pass across the various markets. So we'll start off with the daily chart. Again, daily chart, similar kind of look and feel that we've been getting on the other equity markets we're experiencing in the Dow as well. Okay, we remain, I think, to some degree inside this channel, right, to the downside. We are at the upper end of this channel. So the question now becomes, are we going to be able to break above, say, 47,450, in which case that could lead us to a leg higher, or are we going to continue to respect this upper trend line and maybe follow through with another leg lower? Okay. So we're kind of at a kind of an interesting decision point here. Okay, so we are in the bearish channel on the daily. We're up against the upper end of that channel. The question now becomes: are we going to be able to break 47,450 and rally, or are we going to maybe create another pattern here that would indicate that maybe we are headed lower? Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart and see if it gives us any clues as to the direction that they want to take this. We're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment here. Okay. And we'll turn this, collapse this here for a moment. So here we are, decision time, right? Okay. So we broke some structure here to the upside and kind of staircasing, but now we're up at this decision, right? We're up at the upper end of the channel. Do we break, right? Do we break above and hold? Or is this an area where we could potentially see price reverse, okay, down, right? So need to see maybe a bit more price action, right? If I'm bullish, I need to see price break above and hold. If I'm bearish, well, I'm at a level, maybe need to see another bearish candle to create maybe a little bit of a 3-bar reversal pattern, and that could maybe be the catalyst that I need to see in order to secure a short trade, okay? All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart here and see what we have in store here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the channels. We know where we are. Okay, we see that price is above our 9 EMA, above our VWAP, above settlement. Okay, so it is a bit extended to the upside here, right? But these locations, this location, they offer us nice locations to support a long trade. Right. Not really interested, especially given the fact that it's beginning to maybe even develop a little bit of a supply area here, right? We're having a little bit of trouble getting above this 47,300 level, okay? So let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. I think I know at least a part of this answer here for that. Let's see. I'll go ahead and drag. All right, so you can see that price is above value, okay, indicating that there's a fair amount of interest to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and open up our initial balance here and kind of compare where we're at across the various markets here. So Asia also higher, right? We got a nice break. Where is it? Actually, I was pretty range bound in Asia. Asia was pretty range bound. It wasn't until we got to London, right? It wasn't until we got to London that we actually extended the range here to the upside. London, I think, also appears to be in some sort of range, right? So we are above the initial balance range for London, okay? But I can't say that it's been overly aggressive to the upside. It's almost giving us kind of a look and feel that the market wants to maybe come back and maybe revisit some of these value ranges before it makes any decision here to the upside, okay? Fair. We do have some buyers that maybe have kind of nibbled to the buy side. We do see that price is above our initial balance high from London, above our VWAP. So indicating that maybe there is maybe some momentum that remains to the upside. So I'm going to be waiting to see if we do get a close back inside the initial balance range. That could offer us maybe a rotation back to the lows from say a close back under 234, okay, 235. Maybe that could offer us a rotation back down to 47,138. Otherwise, VWAP could offer me a location right around 213. That could offer us maybe a bounce and a continuation move to the upside. So again, especially in the equities, I'm going to be rather patient on exactly what I do there. If anything, I do see a lot of rangy kind of price action at the moment, so I'm not really super keen on participating in the equities at the moment. Let's take a look at just across all the markets here, guys. So we have let's see, we have gold that we got a nice extension here to the upside. We got to the 200% extension to the upside. And now we're coming back inside the value range that's been developed. Let's see if I can. This is London. Let's go ahead and see what's taking place here in New York, because the value range is about to close here. The initial balance range, I should say. Okay. So now the question becomes, we're breaking, looks like we want to break below this 9 EMA. Well, that the break of the 9 EMA, yes, Syed. I think it is. I'd like to think it is. In any case, so we see price kind of breaking below this 9 EMA. This could offer us maybe an opportunity, maybe for a move down to VWAP before we see any sort of reversal in price. So right now, I don't know, depending on what we see as far as equity markets, it'll be interesting to see if we continue to the downside, given this supportive demand zone that we have here. I would say that maybe I'll be looking at this level down here around 44,075. Maybe this level can offer me a location where I can, maybe secure a long trade in the gold market, right? That would kind of fill, again, we don't stay too far away from VWAP for very long before we see some sort of reversal. Okay. Back to VWAP. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. So I'm going to be waiting. I'm not necessarily looking to participate maybe in a bearish trade down to this level. Okay. But I will be looking for maybe an opportunity off of VWAP for maybe a reversal to the upside. Okay. Crude oil is, let's see. Crude oil is kind of, again, continuing to be in a range for me. I'm not really super excited to be a participant of crude oil. The moment I think that the market is moving higher, it reverses on me. So I'm going to be, focusing on the edges of this market. Maybe 60, 50, 60, 40 could be an area that I can use to fade. 60, maybe 59, 80 to the downside could be another area I could fade. But it doesn't seem to be a market that's overly, moving in any one particular direction. Okay. Right now, it appears to be a market that is in range, looking for some additional information as to which direction they want to take this market. Okay. So with that, I'm just going to call it neutral. All right. Neutral. Again, if you wanted to dabble, I would say I would dabble around the 60-40 level on the short side, and maybe 59.80, 59.75 to the buy side. Okay. And then last but not least, across the various markets, I don't know. Again, for me, while we are in some sort of bullish kind of price action, I do see that we are developing some sort of pattern here that could indicate that maybe the market will come back down to revisit VWAP, which would make for a relatively nice trade. Otherwise, we could, if we continue to maintain above or hold above the 9 EMA, maybe there's another leg higher here. I'm not sure. I'm just not liking the bar coding that's going on right now in this market with respect to candles. And for me to really buy this would be probably a little bit counterintuitive to me. It almost seems that based on some of the structure that we're creating here, if any direction I should be picking, it should be to the downside, and that my downside target would be VWAP. Okay. All right. Looking at the ES. Similar kind of look and feel. We got that same little pattern, kind of M pattern that we're developing here, right? So we got a little topping pattern that's maybe developing. Again, I see a fair amount of distance between where price is and VWAP. So my thinking is that there's a possibility that we could maybe come back down to VWAP before we move up. But again, I don't try to dictate to the market what it needs to do. I react to what the market gives me, right? So what I think might happen and what actually happens may not be the case, right? So but in any case, what I'm seeing is that a market that doesn't seem like it has any sort of direction here at the moment, overnight definitely was direction here to the upside, right? So if the market is generally up, then I have to think up until I see something that would indicate that's changed. And right now, there's nothing here that's changed that view, right? Other than the fact that we've moved in some sort of range. And then last but not least, the Dow, I think, also giving us kind of this kind of barcoding feel, this topping pattern. Again, we need to see maybe a little bit more evidence that it indeed wants to head lower. Okay, we need to begin to break some structure here to the downside. Again, VWAP would be a natural location for me to want to participate in this market to the upside. Okay, since we have about a few minutes remaining here, guys, I'm gonna take a peek here. I know I believe my friend Michael is in the room here, so we'll take a look at silver. Hi ho, silver, up and away. All right, let's. I thought I had a little fun with that, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so what do we see here? Well, look at the daily chart, right? Daily chart. We had a little bottoming pattern here. Again, that W pattern that we always see in markets that have created a bottom. Okay. We see a candle that's broken some structure here to the upside. Again, when we break daily levels, that requires a bit of effort here. Okay, so this is relatively important here. Okay, the fact that we are above now, this is obviously a developing candle, right? This is still a developing candle, so we don't know exactly how this is going to play out. But the fact that it's able to get above, I would say is somewhat significant. We do see that we have some resistance around 51,440, as well as high as 53,425. Okay, let's take a peek here at the 4-hour, see what the 4-hour has to say. 4-hour, we'll turn off initial balance here for a moment. Okay, so again, you can see that we are trending somewhat to the upside. Okay. We are currently developing a 4-hour candle that is a little bit indecisive here. Although price does remain above our VWAP, does remain above our 9 EMA. Okay. So we are in some sort of bullish structure to the upside. Taking a look at the 30-minute, you can see that maybe we are pulling into an area where I would maybe kind of perk my interest here a little bit. As far as looking maybe for a reversal. Okay. This VWAP here could offer me something in the way of maybe a reversal in price. So that's going to be an area to see maybe over the next hour or so, maybe if it offers me something that would lead me to believe that we head higher. Okay. We do see that settlement is still way below us. So that's obviously another area that price could potentially reach. But I'm going to be, I guess the next decision point for me is going to be, well, how well does price act in and around VWAP? I'm going to open up the fixed range volume profile from Friday. Okay, let's see if I can locate that. Friday's initial balance range, or value range, I should say. Okay, here we go. Boom. Yeah, so you can see that we're well above value from Friday. Okay, so a fair amount of interest here to the bullish side. We're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance for the most recent session here. Okay, and see what day sessions here and see what it's offering. Boom. Okay, so again, like I said, we're at the low end of the initial balance range. I think right now, if I had to pick a location or pick a direction, I think I would have to say that I'm probably waiting for some evidence that the market could continue higher. All right. And when I say evidence, I need to see price break the channel to the upside. I need to see price hold VWAP, this blue line below, and maybe offer me some sort of price event that would indicate that the market is looking maybe, or will look to head higher. Okay. All right. So managed to review, I don't know, a good number of markets here, 6 markets in 60 minutes. Okay. So we'll close it there, guys. And again, this is Monday. We don't necessarily need to be aggressive right off the get-go. I tend to like to ease my way into the week here a little bit, kind of get a feel for what the market condition is, and then look to maybe participate. Okay, so if there are no other questions, again, I would encourage Syed. This is the first time I've seen you there, but Syed and Ali and others, if you yes, government. Right, I don't know. I think there's some news that's indeed going to be happening. So, in any case, guys, if you are not currently a subscriber, I would encourage you to subscribe. If you have not left a comment on the portal indicating to others on how this analysis is supporting your analysis of the markets, I would encourage you to do that. And then ultimately, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent day trading, guys. and we'll talk again soon. Yes, welcome Ali, welcome Syed. All right, and yeah, that's it for me today, guys. If I don't see you either in the group coaching area on Top Step, we'll pick it up again tomorrow. One heads up here, guys. I will be on Top Step TV a couple of days this week, so we won't be having this morning session because I'll be busy on Top Step TV. I need to confirm the dates, but I believe it's the 12th and the 13th. I will be up on Top Step TV, so you can catch me analyzing the markets on the opening bell with Coach Hogue and others. So I won't be having this particular session that we're having right now. If you don't find me here, you can move on to the to Top Step TV and find me there. Okay. Until then, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent day trading, guys, and we'll talk again soon.